What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and welcome back to another video guide. In today's video is going to be on the new Abyss STRATA 5 Part 6, which is considered to be the Lufenia stage. So before we do start, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel and I would really appreciate it. And now without further ado, let's start this video. And of course, we'll start this video off in how you're gonna deal with that Lufenia orb. This starts at less than 80% of the boss's HP and will cancel once you get less than 50% and will restart once again once you hit less than 40% of their HP. You cannot get any more of the Lufenia orb counter, however you can pause that counter by doing any melee brave attack. So I guess the biggest thing is just to bring your melee characters. That's how you're gonna stop the orb, or at least pause it until they get their turn. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's talk about how the fight will work on this one. Now the boss does like, or the bosses do like to apply a lot of debuffs, mainly speed down debuffs and turn rate down debuffs. They do have poison as well, if I remember correctly. They also do this little thing, concentrating. And basically what happens is you cannot delay the boss when they are concentrating. And the boss will remove its own debuffs as well and will do an AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack. They will do this multiple times. When you see the all attack, it's most likely going to be this, but in some cases it is going to just do a brave attack. So I would just be a little bit more careful and just make sure you have the brave, or you can heal through it. In my personal experience, they didn't do a lot of HP damage, but nonetheless, better be safe than sorry. The bosses will also get a shield when the countdown appears, so you will have to break through this. One thing in mind is the boss is immune to the paralyzed debuff, so do avoid that one. And you will need a yellow and red crystal character and a short sword character in order to enter this fight. Alright, so now that we know a lot of how the fight works, how you're gonna deal with this? Well, you can't use Paralyze, but you still can use HP Silence, so that is a big thing. So I guess Kefka is still a pretty good character to bring. Obviously you still have to fill in the slots, the other slots which you need for the fight. Arciela is another character that can do HP Silence, so a lot of those characters can really help you out, especially if you are expecting a HP attack. But the way I did it was turn manipulation, and I actually use lightning for my turn manipulation instead of Terra. Terra can do that as well. Basically, when you see them concentrating, all you have to do is do a couple of turns or more turns than the don't let the boss have a turn. Basically, that's I guess the idea, and eventually they will lose their concentration. It will take a couple of turns, but you'll be safer for that. Other things are obviously just to heal and remove those debuffs. Those speed down and turn rate down debuffs are going to hurt you if you don't get them away. If you have an option to get rid of them, by all means do so. But if you're using a lot of turn manipulation anyway, I guess it wouldn't matter that much. Now, having a tank will obviously help with survivability. Preferably though, you use an AoE tank, and what I mean by that is basically a tank that can tank an AoE attack. So Bosch is actually a pretty good choice here. He both fills in that yellow crystal and the short sword slot. So if you have Bosch, then I guess he is a pretty good character to bring along on this fight. Now, other characters that you might want to consider bringing, obviously you got Mog, Paladin Cecil, Kefka, Sidor, Terra, Elnarshe, Squall, Aerith, Lightning, Garland, Amethyst Lion, Ramza. Honestly, there's a lot of characters you can bring. You can basically bring a lot of the characters that you have as long as you fill in that requirement to enter the fight. So there's a lot more freedom with this one. There's a lot of short sword characters that are out already at level 80, so you shouldn't have much issue filling in that requirement. Now, as for Cole characters, it's kind of still remaining the same. I have Jack, Onion Knight, Hope. Amethyst Lion now is actually a pretty good one to have. You can delete turns. Machina is still a pretty good one. If you do have him, the damage he does is pretty nasty. And Gabron, Penelo, and of course Mog if you need a little bit of healing there. I guess you can put Aerith here as well if you really want a little bit of healing. If you do plan to just, you know, go ham with the damage. Alright guys, so now let's take a look at some party composition examples. Of course, the first one is going to be the video that you guys are seeing right now, which is Paladin, Cecil, Lightning, and Aerith with a call team for Jack, Onion Knight, and Hope. Obviously, there's no support for this one. Ramu for the summon, and basically, like I said, I use Lightning as my turn manipulation. Whenever the boss are concentrating, I use Lightning's LD if I can. If I have a lot of turns, then you know I'm pretty safe. I don't need to use it. But if I am a little bit on the short side of turns, I will use her LD. That's basically the idea here. Now for the next team is going to be a Ramza, Terra, and Onion Knight with a call team for Jack, Paladin, Cecil, and Squall. Summon is going to be Ramu. Basically, you know, your short sword here is basically filled up. You got Ramza, Terra, and Onion Knight are all short sword characters. Terra Ramza basically fills in the yellow crystal, and Onion Knight fills in the red crystal. Now what's ideal about this team is you got Terra, who can, you know, turn manipulate just like Lightning, as well as Onion Knight's LD if you do need Onion Knight to like switch Terra in the front. If you need a little bit more turns, it's going to be very helpful. Ramza can delay as well, so a pretty ideal team, to be completely honest with you. Now the last team I have for you guys is Garland, Lightning, and Amethyst Lion with a call team of Jack, Kryle, and Gabronth, and Ramu for the summon. Basically the same thing as my first party composition. Lightning is kind of like your fail-safe here. Amethyst Lion can delete turns. You can do that early on when the bosses aren't concentrating. You can delete a lot of turns, and Garland can delay with Lightning as well. So basically the boss basically won't have a turn. And you should be completely fine even if they are concentrating. If you know, timed your deletions and delays right, then you should be safe either way. And we're finally towards the end of this video, guys. First of all, my final thoughts on the fight. This was a lot easier than the Strata 4 Abyss fight. That was just very restrictive, while this one just kind of opened up to any sort of character you have. So I don't see any reason why you should be struggling with this fight. Obviously the key characters are Lightning and Terra, but even without those girls, you should be fine if you can delay a little bit and manipulate the turns. I didn't even mention Noctis. You know, with Noctis's buff with his LD, you basically can like manipulate the turns, multiple turns at that, and you should be fine. And if not, you can HP silence just to be on the safe side. So there are a lot of options in this particular fight. So hopefully you guys can beat this without any issues. I would probably put this down on more the easy Lufenia fights that we've had so far. And yeah, that is basically it for this video, guys. Please do remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It still helps the channel, and I would really appreciate it if you share this video as well for anyone who's struggling. I don't know if anyone's going to be struggling that much, but if anyone is, share this video to that friend, and hopefully they can clear it after, you know, watching this video. You can always follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Munchkins Gaming. Again, leave down in the comments below what sort of team you use for this one. I know I kind of like just use Terra and Lightning as an excuse to make party compositions, but I think a lot of people actually either have Lightning or Terra in their team. So yeah, anyway, yeah, leave down in the comments below your team and, you know, your strategy. If you have a different one from what I've mentioned, please leave down in the comments below. This is Munchkins logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next level.